Yo folks, so welcome to the channel. In today's video, we'll be covering Echoes of Mana, my first impressions, tier list, reroll guide, doing some beginner tips as well, and maybe some mistakes to avoid. Let's go ahead and do the gameplays right here so you guys can see what this game is all about. So right now, I'm in full auto, but I can turn that off. And I am moving around thanks to auto key setting that I've set on BlueStacks. No, this video isn't sponsored, but you can, use the download links in the description. But let's go ahead and jump right into this so you can see if this is for you. This is going to be an action RPG, and one of the most important things with this game is it's actually pretty fun in my opinion. I can do the little skill cast as you can see right there. Just know I believe that costs no mana, but I think you have to do like some sort of like attacks in order to actually pull that off. So there's 3 stages in this zone in particular, and there's gonna be some areas where you can collect treasure. Oh man, that's kind of beautiful. I have to just talk about the overworld and the way it sort of presents itself in this game. And also, this is one of the best characters. I actually like him quite a bit. I think he's like the first hero from the Mana series. Correct me down in the comments. And what I cast right there is a skill which allows him to gain some super armor, which makes him really good. And right here, that's another meter where I can cast my ult. So the next foe we're going to be fighting is going to be a boss, so let's go ahead and heal ourselves. Now, one of the most important things with Echoes of Mana is healing. Healing is what determines how well a character will pretty much perform on like the rankings and stuff, but also the distance that you can attack. Oh my gosh, there's 2 little dragons right here. I don't think I'm going to attack the main boss yet. I'm going to go ahead and go for the little guys. And since they're grouped up like this, you can go ahead and cast their skills, do some big wompy damage. And then let's go ahead and cast our ultimate right here. Mega Wind Spirit Magic. I think I said that right. And there we go. That is going to be some awesome stuff. I think that's triggered based off of the skills that I am casting. And I'm not going to do a heal right. Oh, yes, I am going to do a heal. Because I don't want my character to die. You can also switch characters mid-combat, which is really cool. I like this dude because he's an edgelord and he's also the only darkness character, and he can also increase his own attack a little bit, I think. And then let's go ahead and cast our little ulties right there, and there we go, we take out the boss. I really love this game. I think it's going to be one of the better games of 2022. I know it's a little early to call it out. Okay, so we beat the stage. Some of you might be wondering, how do you get S rank? You beat the stage in even faster clear times. That can be a little bit difficult. Here's some resources that we can gain. We'll talk about it a little bit later. And here we are at the clear screen. Let's go ahead and jump back so we can see what is going to be some beginner tips that I can give y'all. All right, so now that we're back in the main overworld, this is where you can talk to NPCs and interact with your environments and whatnot. Let's jump into our party right here because we have to do a couple of things to make it so that you start off strong as possible, in my opinion. So if you are going to be playing this game, I think the most important thing is setting certain allies to do certain functionality. So for example, I have this character set as a healer. I want him to attack the same enemies as me so they don't die. And I want them to be a healer, not a support, because supports, they do like the defense breaks and buffs and whatnot. You don't need that. And then I have their skills on because I want them to, do the heals. I also don't want them to switch because they can actually switch into their other, character supports or subs. And then the most important part, like I said, is they have a heal right here. Now, this is going to be one of the characters that you aim for. Here's going to be another character that you get absolutely for free as soon as you start the game. The reason I have him, he has 2 heals, well, 1 heal, and then he also has a cure status ailment, which is really rare. I don't think a lot of characters have this. And I also have the same thing as him, where I flip to the stats, I change the strategy, I made him a healer and also set the enemies so that he's going to be hitting the same peoples as me. I think this is very important, especially if you're playing on auto or even if you're not playing on auto. That way your characters don't die, or you can be super cool and you can have it so that people are going to actually be co-oping with you. That way you don't have to worry about, your members essentially dying. My one thing is I'm pretty sure you can change his character. That way it's not that character in particular, because I'm not using like the main hero that you get by default within the game. A couple of more things as you're going through this, make sure to complete the newbie missions. This is very important because this will actually give you a 6-star version of Prim, and and you actually get Prim absolutely for free by going into the mail and claiming all the things. If you're wondering how I do that, this is going to be the mailbox right here, this version of Prim, all right? The little annoying part is that there's going to be different versions of characters, but let's talk about like the upgrades really quick, and the reason why it's important to use this Prim in particular, because you're going to be getting this upgrade material that's going to be provided within the newbie missions. The reason why this is so important, and this is where dupes come in because this costs a dupe, is that you will actually get passives based off of the dupes that you acquire. It's Genshin in some ways, but not like Genshin, because this one, you don't have all the skills unlocked. You unlock skills based off of how many dupes that you have, which I think is really annoying. I hope games sort of remove that sort of feature. But yeah, she's going to be one of the better characters and you get her absolutely for free. So make sure to upgrade her. Use her at least minimum as a support, because she's going to be one of the better supports since she can increase strength, which is the main sort of stat that the hero or sumo is going to be using right here. So now that you have a general gist of, how to set your characters and who to sort of use at the very beginning, let's go ahead and talk about some of the strongest characters and who to reroll for. So this is going to be the first tier list that I can show you. His name isn't Hero, I think it's Sumo. People get really riled up when I don't get names right, but it is what it is. There's also going to be Duran, Poi Poi, Angela, Shilo, Rize, and Charlotte. Now, the reason why Hero's so strong is, like I said, he has some recovery skills, and he also has that super armor that he can cast, which is going to be that armor ability that showcased earlier. And then with Duran, he also has super armor. Not to mention, he can also do a little bit of a debuff, and he can block some opponents' movements. Then we also have Poi Poi because he has a little bit range ability, and he can also recover his own HP on special moves. Just know it's his own HP, not everyone else's. Then we also have a couple of other characters. Now, the thing is, there's going to be a couple more tier lists that I want to go over. This one also has Hero and Duran, pretty much the same exact sort of abilities. We also have some memo gems, or going to be, I guess, like the artifacts in this game, where World Ruler allows you to get MP based off of Hitch, which is really important because that means you can do infinite heals. Then we have Descending Sword, which increases physical attack power, and then Beginning Story, where you get more HP and MP. But I think the best one is obviously World Ruler. And then here's going to be another tier list. This one's going to be by the Kami games, right? And it has Hero and Duran pretty much at the top. Hero, of course, for self-contained healer. He's going to be a tank. Not to mention with Duran, he has the debuffs and he's also a tank. And World Ruler with the MP stuff. Now, there is going to be another one, which is going to be different. This tier list has Rize, Angela, and Poi Poi at the top. And why is that? It's because they are going to be distance-based characters. So being able to keep yourself at a distance is going to be nice so that you're not going to be dying. Not to mention if you have Hero or Duran doing the actual tanking, the AI, and they can also do a little bit of healing, it's a little bit better for you. That way you can, actually survive the hits. But this is probably based off of the fact if you're controlling characters. But I just wanted to show a variety of tier lists, or, variety of different comments. That way you're not sort of figured to oh, I have to use Hero or Duran. You can definitely use Poi Poi and Angela or Rize. And we talked about how there's going to be different stars that have different versions of characters. We'll look at it one more time just so we can make that clear, because this is how you can mess up your reroll, in my opinion. So you can see there's two versions of Prim right here. There's going to be her boomerang version. There's going to be her fist version. You get the boomerang version for free. Not to mention there's going to be different versions of Sumo, or this hero character right here. His name is Sumo, right? Yeah, because someone got really mad at me for messing up names the other day. Anyway, the biggest thing is that's so easy to mess up. So you know which characters to reroll for. Let's go ahead and jump into the reroll guide. This is probably one of the easiest reroll guides that I've ever had to cover. This is also why I think it's one of the better games of 2022. So all you have to do, go into the title screen. I'll definitely miss this account, but I was just sort of rambling with it. And once you have made it here in the title screen, go to user support right here. Go ahead and delete user data, hit OK, and then the user data is now completely gone. This has to be the most easiest reroll, but also the easiest reroll to also mess up, because even though it's very quick in this fashion, there are things that can be easily sort of give and take in some ways. So we're gonna skip in the tutorial right here. All right, the little guide is going to be telling us here's gonna be an infinite reroll, and let's go ahead and do the infinite reroll. This is the part where you can mess things up, all right? So you go ahead and skip this. The issue is it doesn't give you a 4-star version of the character, all right? And remember, I was like, here are going to be the strongest characters based off of stars. So This isn't the Shiloh that's going to be the one that's recommended, or the Shiloh that's going to be technically S rank based off of the tier list and stuff, right? That's going to be his off rank version, which is not as good. Doesn't have like sort of like the debuffs and stuff. And here's going to be the Fist Prim. You can get these characters. Now let's go ahead and go onto the best reroll guide or best reroll characters that you can obtain, which is going to be right here on App Media. This is going to be, they recommend Charlotte. The reason why Charlotte is recommended is because they're going to be a win-based character. Not to mention they also have recovery skills, which I had earlier. And then they're also recommending everyone else, Duran, Kevin, Angela, Hawkeye, Prim, and Hero. Now, Hero, not so much. He's a little bit low. At the end of the day, this is really easy to mess up because Hero or Sumo, the character that they said you should be summoning for, is not going to be the correct one. I could go for Poi Poi right here because they're not going to be bad, but I don't need them. I really want at least maybe Hawkeye because Hawkeye is at least a darkness character. And technically speaking, you don't have to focus on this part. Like I said, this is the incorrect version of him. So we're not going to be using this one. Let's go ahead and at least try to summon for a character that's semi-decent. All right, Hawkeye, perfect. I'm okay with him. He's not the best, but he's one of the few darkness characters that you can get. And there is going to be elemental advantages within the game. Let's go ahead and hit OK. Technically, you are sort of done, at least with that portion. The real portion that you actually need to reroll, because, that part was the trick. And you're going to go ahead and hit OK. And then you go into the mailbox and then hit collect all right here. Thank you, thank you. You get like little memo gems. And now this is the actual reroll portion because you actually have to summon a character that's 4-star within the harvest right here. Now, you're guaranteed a 4-star in this summon section right here, and you can actually try out the different characters based off of the trial battle, which I actually really like. But the thing that I want to talk about the most is you should at least get one 4-star character, or at least get some usable gold or 3-star characters from this harvest right here. Let's go ahead and watch the summon animation so you guys can see if you like it or not. Personally, we got an SR, or at least ultra rank or 4-star. This is already an account that I kind of want to keep. I don't care who it is because just having an extra 4-star, I mean, I do sort of care because if it's Hero or if it's Duran, that'd be pretty lit. Not to mention on rate Duran banner. All right, who's it going to be? It is, World Ruler or Ruler of the Worlds. This one's actually a really god tier memory gem because that's going to allow me to do infinite healsies. So I actually kind of like that. We got Poi Poi right here. I'd rather have Charlotte, to be honest, because Charlotte can do some heals. Is this going to be Charlotte? No. I guess this is going to be a memory gem sort of reroll. This, I would say, is okay. It's not the best, but the fact that we got this memory gem, if we can tie that with the Hero or Sumo, that would be really great as well, or his 4-star version of him. We got a bunch of characters right here, or I guess memory gems even. All right, who's that going to be? We got this guy. Lycius is actually pretty decent because he's an arrow-based character. We have Kevin right here. He's probably going to be fist-based. We got Niccolo, the Wanderer. And then who do we have here? We have Julius, the Hidden Ambition. This is an all-right account. I don't really have too many healers, which is a little bit unfortunate. But if we get the 4-star that we need right here, which is going to be, this guy right here, then that's going to be the most important part. So let's see if we can get lucky, whether I decide to keep this account. Technically, I still want to god roll something. And I might play this game a little bit longer because I think it is high quality and I do sort of love it. And here we go. I ain't running from the... I don't think that's him. He didn't say that. So it's going to be Duran. It's not the best thing. It's okay. It's still very usable. And yeah, like I said, if I wasn't too picky, this would definitely be an account to keep. Just because I had the Rule of the World memory gem. That's what it's called, right? Here's going to be the memory gem section. And this one in particular. And it's going to be doing, recover MP for every 10 seconds. This is okay, but it's definitely not the ideal one. So yeah, that's going to be how to reroll the strongest characters and everything. This account I'm not going to keep, so I'm going to go ahead and re-roll it. Let's go ahead and just do that so you guys can see it one more time. We're going to go into the title screen. You hit OK. Now that we're at the title screen, you're going to go into user support. You're going to delete user data. You're going to hit OK, OK. And then we'll go through it all again. Some rough opinions on Echoes of Mana. I think the dupe system is all right. The loading screens on BlueStacks isn't the best, but maybe on Android or like iOS, the phones, it's a lot better. Usually it is. And when it comes to this, just reroll at least for, the initial portions. Don't really worry about it because the 3-star versions aren't that really crazy. What's more important is you get like the 4-star characters like Hero or Duran, or you go off of this tier list and you go for Reese or Angela or Poi Poi if you want to be more distanced and do manual play. But like I said, it's definitely going to be Hero and Duran at the top spots because super armor is just going to allow you to not get knocked back and actually deal some damage. You can also run away when you need to. And don't forget about the different attributes that are corresponding within the game because that's going to be a portion within the elemental part. But yeah, that's going to be the first impressions, tier list, reroll guides, and all the different things. If you made it this far in today's video, consider subscribing, dropping a like, leaving a comment, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter. Once we hit 35,000 subs, we're doing a giveaway. Thanks so much for watching. Have yourself a fantastic day and see you guys in the next one. Good luck on the rerolls, everyone.